Hello everybody, I am recording this video not long after the new moon in the sign of Cancer, and this was where the sun and the moon lined up together in the sky, and the sun is so bright that you cannot see the moon at the time of the new moon. But when these two come together, the sun and the moon, it is a new start, it is a new lunar month, and we have a few quiet days while they're together in the sky and we can't see the moon. But then we'll see the moon again in 2 or 3 days, and it'll be a beautiful sliver in the sky, and then it will get bigger and bigger as its waxing phase until it is the full moon in about 2 weeks, and then it will get smaller and smaller, and that's the waning phase. And when we have that lunar month, which we do over and over and over again for endless time, since the beginning of time, where we've had lunar month after lunar month, it represents a time where energy is growing as the moon waxes and diminishing as the moon wanes in size, as the moon moves around the sky. Pausing. So let me introduce myself. My name is Fiona of Sun and Moon Calendar. I make calendars for Australia and New Zealand, astrology calendars. And currently I am travelling in England at the moment, staying with a friend's place in South Wales. I might talk about that a little bit more at the end because I'm finding it pretty interesting in terms of language revitalisation and Welsh cultures. There's some similarities with Māori culture in New Zealand and the Māori Renaissance that there has been over the last few decades. So that's pretty cool. I might talk about that a little bit at the end. Anyway, so I'm going to talk about this new moon in the sign of Cancer. And, as I was saying before, the waxing and the waning of the moon represents the way energy goes. And even if you not really into astrology, pretty much everybody notices at the full moon that there's this big energy, and the new moon is opposite of that. That's where the energy has come down and things are quieter, not so big. And also you can use the lunar phases, the lunar month, for your projects, for starting and finishing things. Better to start things and build them up in the waxing phase, and to bring things to a close in the waning phase. Anyway, I'm going to talk about this new moon in Cancer. Usually we have one new moon in Cancer per year in the sign of Cancer, the sign of the crab. And this time we have got Jupiter in Cancer very, very close to that new moon. So the sun and the moon and Jupiter are together today, on the day I'm recording this. And then the sun and Jupiter will be together, a day or two, they'll be close. The moon moves on quickly. Okay, now what is that about? So Jupiter in Cancer is happy in Cancer. Jupiter is expansive, optimistic, bold and confident, righteous. It has a lot of wisdom and loves to explore and grow things. Okay, it's like a yes to life, and Saturn is like a no. I'm borrowing my partner's phone because I had his old phone, which was better than my old phone, and I dropped it, and I'm so disappointed because it's wrecked. It doesn't work anymore. Anyway, I'm borrowing my partner's phone until I can figure something out. My old phone's just too old. It doesn't work. Anyway, something keeps happening where the screen keeps going like this. So I hope that's not annoying you. I'm going to keep going. All right. So with this new moon, Jupiter in the sign of Cancer is really happy. So Jupiter's really able to express its the blessings that it can bring and the opportunities. And the only thing that can go wrong with Jupiter when it's in this exalted position in Cancer is that and with the sun, that's very shiny and bold and creative. With both of those, they're both very creative. There's leadership, there's energy, and there is confidence. The only thing that can go wrong is sometimes to be too confident, too optimistic, to be too entitled. And also the other thing that's happening at the moment is that, as I've been talking about, we've got Jupiter square to Saturn, and where Jupiter is the yes, let's of life, Saturn is a no, hang on, do the due diligence, do the work, and it's not going to be easy. Okay, and they are square together, and that is a time in part of a 30-year cycle where we are meeting some challenges. This is not just over in a few days. This has been for the last, over actually on and off with growing and diminishing energy over the last year. Anyway, with this new moon in Cancer, conjunct Jupiter, this is a chance in that Cancer part of your chart for a new start. And it can be an energetic new start, adventurous new start, a confident new start, and lovely, lucky opportunities can come through it because Jupiter can really bring good luck. It is the great benefic. It's like a generous philanthropist or a generous sponsor, somebody who's confident, well connected in the community, abundant, and they're giving out money to charity here and there, and they do things the right way. They can maybe be a little bit entitled because they're used to getting what they want and need, but in general there's a great benevolence about that kind of high up person in a community. And Jupiter can also be righteous, like can care about justice, can care about things being right according to spiritual guidelines. It can be about belief systems as well. Anyway, so the Cancer part of your chart is having a new start, and I'm going to go into all signs to talk about what that is if you're Aries, Taurus, blah, 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 all of them. I'm going to start from the sign of Cancer because this is for you guys. Cancer, this is one of the biggest points of the year, and you've got a really lucky year this year with Jupiter in your sign. So a couple of other things I want to say before I get into the all signs. Okay, so with this Jupiter in the sign of Cancer, conjunct the new moon, there are three things that are going to hold back this lucky new start. All right, so the lucky new start's coming, but it's going to take some work and some time. The three things holding it back. One, the square to Saturn. And that square between Saturn and Jupiter is crunchy and stressy, and it is about expanding into new and wonderful things, but doing the hard work with that. That is the Saturn influence. Secondly, at the same time, because Neptune and Saturn are together, this new moon in the sign of Cancer is also square to Neptune. And that can mean that we're a little bit dreamy, a little bit too optimistic or over idealistic. So try to avoid that. And the third reason why this could be a little bit slower, a slower start, is also because that Jupiter is conjunct the Sun. It's not visible. All right. So while Jupiter is in the light of the Sun, we can't see it. And there's a branch of astrology that's all about visibility, and it does come from ancient times because, of course, what was visible would be seen as more potent. When Jupiter becomes visible, that is when we might start seeing more of the blessings. However, we've got the new start potentiality right now. So it's a time for thinking about what you would like to grow in that Cancer area of life, and where you'd like to be confident, bold, colourful, shiny, entrepreneurial, and energetic, and even showing leadership. These are Jupiter and the Sun mixed together, confident, bold, energetic, providing leadership, creative, enterprising. Okay, so I'm going to pause and I'm going to look up my notes about the signs, and we're going to start from the sign of Cancer. So if your sun sign or your rising sign or maybe even your moon sign is Cancer, this new moon is in your first house. That's a sign of you. That can be your identity. It can be the part that you play in the world. It can be your body and your appearance, like how the world sees you. All right? So there's some brand new start for you and your life. Any part of your life, because it's all of you, and that could be coming, and it could be really lucky but starting to show up a bit later. So what I've got some ideas here. It could be a change of appearance where you take on a bolder and more striking hairstyle or makeup look or clothing look, or you might even just start lifting yourself up more confidently as you approach the world. Have I said anything else? You're more confident and about the I am me, this is who I am, and that is how I am in the world. I am me in the world. Yeah, okay. All right, Jupiter rules your 6th house and the Sun rules your 2nd house. So it could be bringing into your life, the Sun and Jupiter together, maybe a new job that comes out of who you are, your identity, or some new way that you give service in the world, or some new health regime in the world. Yeah. Jupiter also rules your 9th, so maybe there's some ideas about foreign travel or exploring philosophy or higher learning. There we go. That's for you guys, Cancer. Okay, if you are Leo, this new bold and shiny, confident start with the Sun, the Moon, and Jupiter is happening in your 12th house. And Leo, you are quite a confident and outgoing personality usually, but this is a new start in your 12th house, which is more hidden. So this could be something where there is some kind of new start, but it's in an area of your life that's a little bit more hidden away. Maybe you have a lovely new dream journal to work with. It could be as simple as a bright, shiny, colorful new journal to write in, maybe using some nice highlighter pens and some artwork. Okay, it could be some new ideas, but they're still at the dream state and they're not really ready to go out into the world, but they are bright and shining ideas. Or it could be some new start in a part of your life that is quite hidden away. Maybe you've got some connections with a hospice or a hospital, even a prison, or a retreat. It can be a positive kind of thing. Doesn't have to have that negativity that a prison, that we imagine of a prison. It could be a sanctuary of some kind, and there's some bright and bold new start, and I can imagine it being quite shining and colorful and feeling kind of blessed, and it might be just starting to take shape now. So that's for you, Leo. I'll also say for Leo, the Sun is your ruler and Jupiter rules your 4th and your 7th house. Oh, I'm looking at the wrong one. And Jupiter rules your 5th house, and that is fun. So there could be some fun and with whatever this new start is in a hidden part of your life. Okay, for Virgo, the new moon and the conjunction of the Sun and Moon and Jupiter is happening for you in your 11th house. And this is a house where you get the gains and the rewards from your career, or the gains and rewards from your status or reputation in the world. It's also a house of your large group connections, like your bigger networks, and they can be online networks or community connections, or it's more like the networks that you choose, not your neighborhood where you've ended up accidentally geographically, but the groups of people that you choose to belong to. Okay, so it's some kind of new start there. Oh, it's also a house of goals, long-term goals. Okay, so you might come up with something that's new, a goal for your future that's bright and bold and colorful and shiny, and it's about your identity in the world. Okay, the other thing that could happen with this, it could be a new beginning where you are perhaps have some renown because of the sun there, about where you're connecting with a group or a network. Maybe a new group or network is something that you join up with, or a new beginning, a new role for you in a group that you are connected with, that whether that's for, like, maybe you're a softball mum or a softball dad, and you suddenly are given the job of becoming the chairperson of the committee, and you get to make decisions and have an influence. Your name is on the website and everything, and you're helping to grow softball in your community. Something like that. What else did I write there? So Jupiter, Virgo, Jupiter rules your 4th and your 7th house. So, I mean, the 4th house is about your home, 7th house is about your partner. Maybe you're doing your work in the home for this. Your partner might be helping. Yeah, okay. So anyway, some kind of reward in your career, or a new goal, or a new start in one of your networks. There we go, Virgo. All right. If you are Libra, this new beginning for the sun, the moon, the new moon, with a sign of Jupiter, this bold and shiny new start is happening for you in your 10th house. This is an important one. This is your career house. This is how you stand out in the world, your status and reputation, and the legacy you leave behind, like by your career. It's not just a job that you're doing to get money. It's where you want to make a difference and have influence in the world. There's some kind of new start for you that's starting now, or the ideas are now, but it's going to grow slowly over the next year with this new moon and the sign of Cancer. So what have I said? So there might be a new shiny job opportunity, promotion, or something where you start to look for something else. It also might be where you are in the spotlight some more. Your status changes. Your status goes up, a promotion, something like that. All right. The sun rules your 11th house, and Jupiter rules your 3rd house and your 6th house. All right. So perhaps this new job is this new career opportunity. Of course, it could change your daily work, and it could be connected to your neighborhood as well. All right. So Libra, that's pretty exciting. It's neat to have career changes and developments, and I think this will be a lucky one with some challenges at the beginning. If you are the sign of Scorpio, rising or sun or even moon, okay, this new start with the sun, Jupiter, and the new moon coming together, that's a slow start, but it's a lucky start that's going to come to fruition over the year. That is in your 9th house. And the 9th house is known as a lucky house, a bold and optimistic house. To have Jupiter in the 9th house is so cool. There might be some foreign travel coming up for you, or some higher learning, like university learning, and it's lucky, and you're helped along the way. And you can be bold, you can be adventurous. You've got some work to do at the start with the square to Saturn, and some patience to be had, but then you could be exploring, whether it's exploring other cultures through your learning, or exploring philosophical ideas or religious belief systems. And let me have a look at what else I've written. It also could help your career, and that's because the sun rules your career house, and the sun is a part of this. All right. Jupiter rules your 2nd house of money, and your 5th house of fun and romance and entrepreneurship, and they are all in sparking off your 9th house. There's a spotlight there, so that's pretty cool for you guys, Scorpio. Okay. If you are Sagittarius, sun, moon, or rising, but especially rising, the new moon, so the sun and moon together, and with Jupiter, they are in the sign of Cancer, and the sign of Cancer is your 8th house. All right. And the eighth house is a little bit of a mystery house. It's about the mysteries of the mind and the heart and the soul, what's hidden underneath our psychological layers. It's also about your investments, the money that comes from other people. So it can be your partner's money. And there's some new start happening in this area. So I know that those are quite different, but it's all about investments and money versus deep psychology. But it's also about underlying layers of power matters, and wealth, what's underneath. Okay. All right. So there's some bold new beginning with some luck from Jupiter, and it might be a slow start, but it is actually bold and shiny, and it will grow over the next year. All right, so maybe your partner gets lucky and has a win, gets something, and that helps you as well, because well, if it's good for your partner, it's going to be good for you. Or maybe you have just some breakthrough with your belief systems, and it feels like a lucky and blessed breakthrough. And that's because the sun rules your ninth house, and your ninth house is in your eighth. And so maybe you're exploring something with your beliefs and philosophy of life, and it actually helps you understand things inside you. And the eighth house can be about transformation that's very, very deep and powerful and very motivating, usually painful. But I think with this, you've got the square to Saturn, so there could be some difficulty, but Jupiter can really bring some blessings to your deep psychology and help you with transformation in an easier way over the next year or so. So that's pretty cool for you guys. And also I should mention, Jupiter is your ruler, Sagittarius. So wherever Jupiter goes, that's pretty important, more important than for the other signs, for Sagittarius and Pisces, because Jupiter also rules Pisces. And Jupiter is going through your eighth house. So I think in general, as well as this new moon, just lucky transformation is available to you. Cool. If you are the sign of Capricorn, the new moon conjunct to Jupiter in the sign of Cancer is happening in your seventh house. And this is the house of your partner. Okay, so whoever you're in a long-term relationship with, not so much dating, long-term, or anyone that you're in business with and you're working in partnership, a one-to-one partnership, this is like a shiny, bright and bold new start for your partner, or for your partnership and the way that your partnership works. So that's pretty cool. It's a lucky new start. There can be some hard work at the beginning, and there can be some challenges at the beginning because of the square to Saturn, and it can take a while to come to fruition, but it's pretty cool. What else did I write? So your partner might be expanding, because Jupiter is about expansion. And they also might be being noticed through this, because the sun is like being in the spotlight, being in the limelight. Okay. And because the sun rules your 8th house and Jupiter rules your 12th house, Sagittarius, and the sun rules Leo, which is your 8th house, through whatever happens with your partner, you might actually learn more about what's hidden in your own psychology, in your dream world, your subconscious, because 8th and 12th, those are the hidden houses. So that could be interesting and helpful. Okay, so that is what I've got for you, Capricorn. If you are Aquarius, sun, moon, or rising, but especially rising, the new moon in the sign of Cancer, where the sun and moon come together, conjunct Jupiter, which is once in 12 years that it's there, that is in your 6th house. I actually really love the 6th house, though it's often regarded as less of a lucky house. I love it because it's about our daily work and our daily routines. And what is happiness if we don't have a lovely daily life? So it's lovely to have this shiny, bold, confident, and lucky new start in the house of your daily work, like where you go every day, your daily routines, what you're doing every day, your routines for your health and your cleanliness. So this is all about everyday life. So it's lovely to have a new start there. Okay. So there might be a new way that there might be a new place to work, like you get moved to a different office and it's better. It might be actually a new job. It could be a new way that you give service. Maybe it's not about your job or your career or anything. It might be just about how you give service in the world. You might find a way to give service to the environment. Like you might think, I really want to sign up for checking the trapping lines at the local sanctuary, or I really want to sign up to volunteer at the local hospice shop or something like that. And it's a great way to do it, and it feels lucky, and it expands you in your life. So that's pretty cool. Anything else that I want to say? The sun rules your 7th house and Jupiter rules your 2nd and your 11th house. So yeah, there could be some money coming through this. With that 2nd and 11th, they're both money houses, and your partner might be involved, or a partnership might be involved with this. So, also could be a good time to do a big clean up, clean out, organize. That might be what your new start is, organizing all your cupboards of your house. Something like that. That's what I've got for you, Aquarius. Okay, if you are Pisces like me, sun, moon, or rising, but especially rising, this new moon with the sun and moon coming together with Jupiter, conjunct Jupiter in the sign of Cancer, this is happening for us in our 5th house. And the 5th house, yay, it's a lucky house. It's a house of fun and romance, childlike play. It's a house of our children, whether these are the children that we have given birth to, or just children and being involved in children, or the children of our hearts, where we are giving birth to something that we have created. So it's quite wide, and it also covers entrepreneurial projects. And the 5th house is about where those projects really come from the hearts, and we can be providing leadership in the world with them, but in a fun way. It's not like being really serious and campaigning for social justice and whatever. That's probably more Libra, maybe Aquarius. This time it's more about fun and having a good time. Okay, all right. So there could be some new enterprise or a new fun hobby for us to start, and it could start slowly. We could be getting the ideas now, and there's some hard work to start with, but it grows along the way. It also could be a new start for our children, like a lucky break for your children, whether they are still at the childlike, the age of children, or if they're adults now. A new start for them starts slowly, but it builds a bit later. All right. Oh, yes. And the 5th house is also romance. Okay, so maybe there's a new start for you romantically, and if you're not committed to anybody and you've got some spare time for that and spare space in your life, there could be dating a new romantic love interest. So that's neat. It's about having fun this year, and maybe also starting something, a new creative project. So enjoy that, Pisces. Okay, if you are Aries, sun, moon, or rising, but especially rising, this new moon starts something new in your 4th house. So Cancer is your 4th house, all right? And this new moon, the sun and moon are together, and Jupiter is there as well, conjunct that new moon. So with your 4th house, this is about your home and your family of origin, your heritage, and it's also a very sensitive and private place. All right, so there's some new, shiny, and quite joyful and lucky new start in this area. And it could start slowly because of the square to Saturn and because Jupiter's not visible at the moment, but it will grow, and there'll be some blessings over the year. All right. Okay, so here's an example. It could be like your sister or your brother or your auntie or your mum or somebody who lived far away might now move close to you, and you get to hang out heaps more, and it feels really nice and lucky. All right. And optimistic. All right. Or it could be you do something to your house, like a renovation, or you paint a wall, and it's bold and bright and colorful, and it makes you feel happy and uplifted and expansive. All right. So these are a couple of examples. All right. The sun rules your fifth house, so there can be fun in the home. And Jupiter rules your ninth and your 12th house. So, both of these houses are related to distant travel or foreign travel. So I don't know, maybe you put up a bold and colorful new painting of a faraway place, like maybe a Mediterranean beach or something like that. All right, okay. So that's what I've got for you, Aries. Now I'm going to talk about Taurus. The new moon in the sign of Cancer, where the sun and the moon have come together and Jupiter is there as well. So triple conjunction between these three. This new start is happening in your third house. All right, I love the third house. All right. So you've got Cancer in the third house, and the third house is about local networking, local travel, local learning hand skills. It's about talking to your neighbour over the fence. It's about driving down to the dairy and buying a charge card or something, and then chatting to the shopkeeper. Neighbourhood networking. It's also about your siblings, your brothers and sisters. And the third house is also about social media, connections, and small business, trade and exchange. So much with the third house. All right, so some new and lucky and bold and colourful start for you in your neighbourhood. Maybe you get a new neighbour who's really quite fun, or they've got like a big, generous attitude to life, and you get to know each other, and you just feel kind of a little bit more uplifted and expanded when you talk to them because of this big optimistic outlook that they have to life. Or it could be you start a new campaign in your small business that's bold, optimistic, and expansive. And it might be a slow start, but later on it gathers momentum and it works well over the next year. All right. It could be even just something like you change your profile picture on your social media to a more confident looking and smiley, uplifting profile picture, maybe more colorful as well. All right. Oh, here was one I had because now where did I have that? So the sun rules your fourth house, all right? And I thought maybe you might learn the fourth house is about home. Maybe you learn some new skill that helps you to shine as a domestic goddess. So the hand skill is the third house, and the sun is coming in. So yeah, maybe you learn something like how to embroider, and you embroider some beautiful, colorful thing. There's an idea. Anyway, thank you, Taurus. That was about the new moon in your third house. And finally, for the sign of Gemini, sun, moon, or rising, but especially rising, the new moon in Cancer, where the sun and moon have come together with Jupiter conjunct, that has happened in your second house. And your second house is about your money in life, your possessions, and your sense of self-worth, like how you value yourself. And, that can be easier said than done. That can grow with time, or we can lose it with time, but we've always got to be working on that, our sense of self-worth, and so that we're not driven by insecurities there. Anyway, you've got a new shiny start in your second house. So this could be a new way of earning money, or a new way of passive income, some money coming to you, a different way of seeing money and possessions. It could be some new possession that comes to you that helps you to feel quite wealthy and lifts up your feelings about yourself. All right. Um, because Jupiter rules your 7th house, Sagittarius, and also Pisces, your 10th house. So Jupiter is an important planet for you because, so 10th house is career, 7th house is partners and career, really important parts of life. And it could be something where they're coming in and affecting your money, helping you to be more wealthy, maybe a new career, a career move, or your partner is helping you out with something. But also, as well as improving your finances, it could be helping your sense of self-worth, helping you to feel better about yourself. So that's really pretty cool. Okay, neat. All right, so that's all I've got for you, Gemini. Okay. And just before I finish this video, I'm going to give you an update about our travels. We have still owned two camper vans, both getting fixed, but I think we might have sold one now, and we have come to South Wales, and we met somebody at the Van Life Festival who invited us here, and so we're staying in South Wales briefly, and it's really cool. I've now heard people speaking Welsh, and I love it because it's a very similar story to Māori, actually. You know, there was the generation that happened where they were getting it beaten out of them in school. They weren't allowed to speak Welsh around the 50s, around the same time as it happened for Māori. So the guy that we're staying with, he described, like, you know, if you spoke Welsh in school, you had to have a rope around your neck with a heavy stone tied to it, hanging on your chest, which is awful. But anyway, they've done this language revitalization, and everywhere you go, the signs are bilingual, and there's a few places where the signs are purely in Welsh. So that's lovely to hear. And up in North Wales, we actually heard people speaking Welsh. There are a number of people who have it as their first language, but then apparently in South Wales, it's more common that it's now the second language. So maybe people back in back when they were kids, they learnt English, but now Welsh is becoming so popular, especially if you're in government jobs and there's schools teaching it. I guess they've got things like kohanga reo, like language nests of it. So it's apparently every town will have it at the primary level, and occasionally there's also high schools where it's total immersion Welsh. Yeah, so that's pretty cool. And the other thing I found exciting was the Industrial Revolution has been so much part of the history of these towns. So they were mining for coal, and then down in Cornwall mining for copper, but around here it was coal, and they had iron works and people were working in the mines, and there was things like they would be paid in these pennies that you could only spend at the company stores. It's like very, exploitative. And there's been a lot of, over time, a lot of union activation and social activism to try and improve conditions for workers all through that Industrial Revolution the last 200 years. So I'd like to learn more about that. I'm just getting a little inkling of it. But one thing was that in the town we're in at the moment called Tredegar is the person who invented their national health system. And if anybody knows about this, please write something in the comments. But my understanding is from a very brief, we've been here less than 24 hours, but our friend was telling us this guy, he would go around and collect money from all the workers and put it all into a fund so that when people needed medical help or health care, that fund was available for them. And later on, this spread to the whole country, so that the national health system here has come from that. So that's a pretty cool thing for this town that we're in right now. Anyway, I just thought I'd share that. I'm always interested in languages and language revitalization and cultures holding on to the essence of who they are. And of course, that's a big story for Aotearoa and a big story for Australia as well. So that's all from me now. Blessings of the new moon. Might be a slow start for that due to luck that's coming, but it is coming. All the best. Bye for now. Please like, comment, or subscribe if you like this video. And thanks to everyone who has been commenting lately. It's been so nice to see your comments. Thanks, everyone. Bye for now.